Hello and welcome to Benchmark. And today we are going to be interviewing Robin Hughes from Secure Logiq. Hello, Robin. How are you?
Hi, Jenny. I'm very good. Thank you.
Good. So, Robin, tell us your full job title at Secure Logiq, please.
So I'm one of the founders of Secure Logiq and otherwise known as the evangelist.
Very good, the evangelist. So why are we talking today, Robin?
Well, I'm very pleased to announce that Secure Logiq is approaching its 10th birthday. So late September, we will be 10 years old. We've survived and we're thriving.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit, how did you get started? What's your uniqueness in the market? And how are you planning to grow the company?
Okay, so lots of questions, but Secure Logiq was founded in 2011, really to fill the missing piece of the HD surveillance jigsaw, which was IT hardware that was specifically designed, manufactured, and optimized for HD surveillance applications. We're a UK manufacturer. We're very proud of that, and that's where the growth's come from, because we haven't really had much in the way of competition. A lot of the VMS companies out there will have their own IT-centric hardware offering, but really it's our deep knowledge of IP video that allows us to design a better product. So one of our taglines is that we have the fastest performance, the biggest storage, the most resilience, and the best value. And just running over some numbers, we make servers that will process up to 4,000 megabits per second of camera data and store up to 1.5 petabytes of storage in a single box. And what that generally means is that we can use a lot less hardware to do the same job, less rack space and less power, and big cost savings.
How do you make sure that there is cost saving and fast performance in comparison to other things?
Well, when we came out with the astonishing figure of 4,000 megabits per second, it was about 16 times what the industry did at the time. And the obvious question was, well, go on, then prove it. Well, to prove 4,000 megabits per second, you need about 1,000 1080p cameras, 40 switches, and a ton of patch cables. And that was obviously not realistic. So a lot of our intellectual property lies in some of the software modules behind our products. So the first software module we designed was something called Logical Benchmark. And Logical Benchmark basically started life as a camera replicator. So we could take a 2 megapixel stream and a 5 megapixel stream and a 16 megapixel stream and duplicate them as many times as we wanted on different IP addresses to create a virtual IP CCTV system of any size. Mm-hmm. If we've got all of that camera data, we can throw that at the server and start to really understand how it interacts with the various software platforms, what the limitations are, where the bottlenecks are. So it really became a testing tool to allow us to build a virtual CCTV system of any size. And it allows us to prove that we can do a lot less with a lot more hardware, so a lot more with a lot less hardware as well.
So are you IT people?
No, first and foremost, we are CCTV people. So amongst our executive team, we're probably approaching 200 years of HD CCTV experience. And you will know that HD
You look quite well for 200 years.
Thank you. I'm a vampire. Yeah, well, there's a big team now of executives, and we've all been involved in the video industry since the inception of megapixel CCTV, and that allows us to not just understand the IT hardware we're optimizing, designing for you, but the whole infrastructure. So it means that we've got better pre-sale support and better post-sale support, and we can identify and troubleshoot any problem better because we understand the entire eco-structure that you're asking for.
Fabulous, fabulous. So what's your growth plans? You say you're a UK manufacturer, but I've read that you have some global reach as well.
We do. We have done a really good job of capitalizing market share in the UK. And in order to maintain the growth we've been experiencing, we grew 65% last year during COVID, and we're aiming for the same this year. And the only way to do that is to spread our wings. So we currently export to 32 countries. We've recently taken on an export manager in Asia Pacific. We're looking to hire someone in the Antipodes, and we've got staff started in Europe. Basically, the only place we don't sell at the moment is the United States, and we have yet to get a server in Antarctica, but one of my sales guys is working on it. Then we've got all the continents covered.
Fantastic. Antarctica, that's full of penguins and Argentinians.
Absolutely.
Well, no Argentinians. The territory has been taken away, but never mind. So, Robin, can you explain why do we need your video servers instead of a regular server? Okay,
well, I guess that the reason is that people for years have been selecting best of breed cameras and best of breed video management solutions. But they've been using a commercial off-the-shelf server to do the main process, the engine behind the system. And those servers were never designed for video. So, they're designed for capturing emails and Excel spreadsheets and Word documents, but all of those documents are probably smaller than one video image. Our industry is big data, so there is nothing more data intensive than video, other than multiple streams of HD video. So our servers are designed to capture 200 2-megapixel cameras, recording in real time and storing it for 30 days. That's a whole different world from a traditional IT-based server.
And does the addition of artificial intelligence and the other layers that the industry is working with add to these calculations as well?
Absolutely. So I mean, really for us, that's a completely different server range. So processing and storage video is one thing, but you might get a server that will process 300 megapixel cameras, but that particular server can probably only do 10, 15 video analytics, because there's a whole load more processing, and understanding the analytics as well is really important, because there's lots of ways to do it. Sometimes you need a lot of CPU power. Sometimes you'll offload to a GPU or multiple GPUs. There's other technologies like VPU. So the server build for video analytics tends to be very different to the server build for a recording and processing server. Or we can build an Uber server that does both.
Fabulous. What about the cloud? Does the cloud compete with what you're doing?
No, the cloud's not really there yet. So we don't really care where the server is. If you have an on-premise server, it's on the premise. You could take the same server and put it in the cloud. So the server actual build doesn't really change. The problem is the networking. So if you imagine most home broadband connections will give you 80 megabits per second down, 20 megabits per second up. Well, if you take 100 1080p cameras and allow for the peak bandwidth, if you want to record them on the cloud, you need not one, but two 1.2 gigabit connections uploading to the cloud. And that infrastructure, whilst it is there, is very, very expensive at the moment. But we do have to plan for it. It is the future. Technology is going fast, and we do have plans afoot. And we do use the cloud. So I mentioned the software areas earlier. Well, we have another software called Logiq Health Check Pro. And really, that's a monitoring and alerting utility that allows us to raise an alarm if there's a problem with temperature or a component. And we use the cloud to send that alert to a mobile device or a laptop or a central graphic user interface, so that our customers can monitor all of our equipment in the field and give them early warning if there's something going wrong. So we use the cloud, but not for storing video.
Very good. So in these 10 years you've been going, what has been the best partnerships or the most reliable companies that you work with that you are thankful for? And tell us how the company has grown in the past, couple of years.
Okay, so one of the partnerships we adopted in the early days was a company called Stratus Everrun. So there are two types of CCTV system. Essentially, one has a distributed architecture, so the management lies between lots of different servers, and the other one has a management server. So when you've got a mission critical system, that management server can become a single point of failure. By using Stratus Everrun, the simple version is that we have two management servers that are essentially mirrored And if one of them goes down, we still have 100% system operation. So it's really useful on those large enterprise systems that are using Genetec or Milestone, for instance. The other partnership we really value is Toshiba. So we only use Toshiba enterprise drives throughout our entire range. Even the client machine's got an enterprise drive in it. And you know, there's been some pretty serious component shortages down to both COVID and also because of crypto mining. And Toshiba have made sure that our supply chain for hard drives has stayed open. So without hard drives, we haven't got a business. So they've been a really good partner to us. The other reason we use them is they have incredibly reliable drives. And if they come with a 5-year warranty, at any stage during that 5-year warranty it breaks, they'll send you a brand new drive. So they're a great partner too.
So what does the future hold for Secure Logiq?
Well, hopefully growth and more growth. So as I think I mentioned earlier, we don't have that much competition out there. And we are finding more and more niches with both video analytics and for video processing and storage. The video analytics market is growing fast. Again, partly because of the pandemic. There's new technologies out there like social distance recognition, face mask detection. And obviously those video analytics need powerful servers. So that's a big part of our predicted growth, as is the international expansion. How
much have you grown?
We grew 65% last year, and we're aiming for a similar number this year. So despite the pandemic, fingers crossed, we can ride the component storm and carry on this meteoric growth.
Amazing. Robin, thank you so much for sharing this with us, and tell us, where can people find your website? How can they get in touch with your salespeople if they need to buy your servers?
The easy way, you go to the website, www.securelogiq.com, Logiq, or drop an email to sales@securelogiq.com, and you'll find our phone number on the website as well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you around in the industry. Thank you for sharing this time with us, Benchmark Magazine, and hasta la vista.
Thanks, Jenny. Bye.
Bye-bye.